Money Arata. Are you aware of the dangers of central bank digital currencies, the CBDCs? In case you already know the risks, are you concerned that your family is unaware of the risks of CBDCs? It is understandable to feel worried, especially given the possibility of a CBDC destroying our freedom. CBDCs could enable programmable confiscation, giving the government the power to seize individuals' financial assets at will and pose a threat to both privacy and financial freedom. This is a serious issue that we should all be concerned about. So today I want to help you to better spread the word about the dangers of CBDCs and the importance of preserving privacy and financial freedom. So by the end of this episode of the Money Arata series, I hope you will feel more equipped to educate your family and advocate for these fundamental rights. Please note, this is not financial service. Read the full disclaimer before proceeding. CBDCs may be a tool for control and surveillance with the potential for programmable confiscation. CBDCs have the potential to enable programmable confiscation, giving governments the power to seize individuals' financial assets at will. This loss of the right to privacy is a major concern, and it raises serious questions about the due process of law, the rule of law. For example, imagine a scenario where you're caught jaywalking. You are identified by smart cameras that are equipped with facial and gait recognition. In a world with CBDCs, the government could immediately fine you and take money from your account without a need for you to be authorizing that payment. Normally, we receive a fine with a payment bill, then we have some time to appeal before paying. Now, in the case of CBDCs, the fine is automatically paid, and if you want to complain, you can do it afterwards. Governments also can use CBDCs to enforce lockdowns or other restrictions on movement. For example, if a government issues a lockdown order and determines that your money can only be used within a specific area, if you disregard the lockdown orders and if you travel to a different city or even to a different neighborhood, you could find that your money, your CBDC funds, are now frozen due to the geolocation feature of this digital money. On top of that, you could even be fined for every minute that you are outside of your confinement zone, further eroding not only your financial freedom but also your autonomy. Programmable confiscation is a danger inherent in centralized money. The solution is to use decentralized money. A centralized system gives a single entity a complete control over the system and its users. This can help quick decision-making and a clear chain of command. However, it also means that the centralized entity has a great deal of power. It can make decisions that might not be in your best interest. In a decentralized system, decision-making is distributed among multiple participants, which can help to prevent any single entity from gaining too much power. See, where there is power, there is also the possibility of abuse of this power. CBDCs are centralized. They are controlled by one single entity, the central bank. This centralization gives the issuing authority the ability to change the rules at any moment and also enforce these rules and restrictions on how your money, your digital money, can be used. Now, in contrast, Bitcoin is the only decentralized money. This means it is not controlled by any one single entity. Bitcoin is an open protocol. It allows users to send and receive payments directly without the need of approval from intermediaries. This decentralization makes it impossible for any single entity to enforce rules or restrictions on how Bitcoin is used. So as a result, Bitcoin offers greater financial freedom and autonomy compared to centralized digital currencies like CBDCs or any other cryptocurrency. We explained already how Bitcoin and crypto are two different things in the episode number 15 of the Money Arata series. CBDCs with expiration dates may hinder your ability to save and plan for the future, leaving you at the mercy of the elite. CBDCs with an expiration date limit your ability to save money for your future and may discourage your long-term financial planning. Think about it. The expiration date of money robs your ability to plan for the future. This is a form of control that keeps you weak and dependent on the elite of those in power. This already happens right now in China with the digital yuan with an expiration date. If you don't spend your money after a few days, it is removed from your account. This can have serious consequences for individuals and for society as a whole. This limits personal financial sovereignty and it hinders the overall health of the economy. See, without the ability to save and plan for the future, individuals might be forced to constantly spend, 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 and adopt a consumerist mindset. When citizens have financial independence and savings, society becomes more resilient and better able to weather economic challenges. This enables long-term planning and investment in the future. Now, on the other hand, when citizens are financially broke and have no savings, society becomes more vulnerable, and this leads to cycles of debt and inflation. This is exactly what we are experiencing with the economy today. Don't let a data leak make you a victim of identity theft or other crimes. Protect your privacy. A huge amount of personal data is closely monitored and recorded everywhere. This can be crossed with data of transactions that are done through CBDCs, and it increases the damage in case of a data leak. Leaks are inevitable to happen sooner or later because the data of all transactions is often stored in centralized databases that can be vulnerable to hacking or other forms of data breaches. Now you might think, oh, you have nothing to hide, so you don't need to worry. Now the problem with leaks is that they are often exploited by criminals to commit identity theft, extortion, and other crimes. So this is a serious concern for individuals who value not only their privacy but also their security. It is also important to recognize that the right to privacy is protected under the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. This right is particularly important to freedom of thought and freedom of expression by allowing people to hold and express personal beliefs without fear of reprisal. Today, we already have data being collected when we are transacting using credit cards. However, we have the option of using cash when we want extra privacy. Now, the problem is that when we have the implementation of CBDCs, it will also come with a war on cash. We discussed this in the episode number 27 of the Money Arata series. Governments will make it increasingly more difficult to use cash, so we will lose this privacy option. Be prepared for a new way of paying fines. Soon, the money will disappear from your account automatically. CBDCs have the potential to enable automatic fines for certain infractions. Now, while this might seem like a convenient and efficient way to enforce rules and regulation, it also comes with significant risks to your freedom. People might be hesitant to be expressing controversial or unpopular opinions, because nobody wants to go through the risk of getting automatic fines in case they eventually say something that displeases the powerful elites. This can lead to a chilling effect on free expression and the exchange of diverse ideas. This is already happening. This is the reason why so many people avoid using certain keywords when they're communicating online because they are afraid they might get cancelled or deplatformed. The problem with CBDCs is that on top of all of that, if you say the wrong things, money will disappear automatically or just get frozen. It is important to remember that freedom of speech is a fundamental human right. It is a cornerstone of any free society. In addition, the use of automatic fines enabled by CBDCs may also result in individuals being excessively punished without the opportunity for a fair hearing or appeal. For example, imagine a small camera captures you protesting against the government and then an automatic fine is issued, and this money for this fine will be automatically removed from your account. It's going to be up to you to later complain and justify yourself that saying actually you're just coming back from doing your grocery shopping and then the cameras caught you near the place where this demonstration was going on. All these are dangers to our freedom. CBDCs might be used as a tool for control and surveillance with the potential for programmable confiscation. So it is important to be aware of the risks and the potential consequences of CBDCs, including the possibility of data leaks, identity theft, as well as the impact on financial freedom and the ability to save, the ability to plan for the future. Don't let these risks compromise your privacy or financial security. Take action to protect yourself and your loved ones. If you think that you can't escape the government control of your money and that this digitization of currency is inevitable, consider learning more about Bitcoin. With Bitcoin, you have an alternative to protect some of your wealth and ensure your freedom. CBDCs may limit financial freedom and privacy, enabling programmable confiscation and increased surveillance. This may also pose some risks to privacy and the ability to save. But there is a solution available, which is Bitcoin. That's why now I want to invite you to a masterclass on Bitcoin by going to arata.se/Bitcoin class.